So going on to some of the last points we shared within the Malava Malka was the importance of living with hope and resilience. In relationship, to have hope and resilience is something which we have to constantly work on, and it uplifts and upgrades our lives tremendously. I started off with the story of the Stretton Rebbe. The Stretton Rebbe asks a question. What's the difference between a tzaddik and a rasha? So he says that the rasha gave up hope. The tzaddik did not give up hope. What is hope? How can we cultivate hope? Hope is an optimistic state of mind that's based on expectations of positive outcome with respects to the events and the circumstances in one's life or the world at large. Its definitions include expect with confidence or to cherish a desire with anticipation. When we're speaking about hope, it's whatever's going on, meeting the challenge with a positive end, with emotions such as happiness and joy, courage, empowerment, to draw from different areas of our lives that have been successful and to build off it from a cognitive, psychological, social, or physical perspective. We know that hopeful people are like little engines that could keep themselves going. They know that they can. There's an element of positive thinking. That doesn't mean that we do not miss out the realities of what's in front of us. It's meeting what's in front of us as is, however, with hope. And it's important when speaking about hope to think about the goals. What goals do I want to achieve? And approaching life in a goal-orientated way. And as well, various different pathways to achieve your goal. Finding different ways to achieve what you want to achieve. So if A doesn't help, B. If C doesn't help, there's D, etc., etc. And then you've got the belief in the achievement of these goals. And this is something incredibly important to remember. Hope doesn't just happen by itself. You have to work on it. You have to work with it. You have to know where you want to go. You have to know what you want to do. It's important to realize that, either we could be hopeful or a person could be skeptical or hopeless. So when a person, for example, has a hopeless attitude, it's really in their mind. It's all coming from their mind. When a person has a skeptical attitude, again, it's coming from their mind. A hopeful attitude coming from our mind as well. So we can choose. We can awaken. We can really own. And it's better to live life with hopefulness and less with skepticism and hopelessness. Because as we know, hopelessness, skepticism, sarcasm, cynicism, pessimism, that will hold us back from living a wonderful life, a good life. And at least in our mind, we could figure out ways of achieving, many different ways of achieving. And this is worthwhile endeavor. And in relationship, it's very, very worthwhile. Hopeful people are happier people. Hopeful people are stronger people. Hopeful people are healthier people. And the list goes on and on. As well, we said resilience is incredibly important. Resilience is when we have to face challenge, adversities, or crisis, that we know how to come back from it. What is resilience? Why is it so important? And how does it affect us? So as we said, it's the ability to successfully adapt to that which is going on in front of you. And it's having the mental, the emotional toughness and behavioral flexibility to navigate tension points. It's having the ability from an internal as for an external perspective. It's your ability to withstand adversity and bounce back and grow despite life's downfalls. And it's very important to realize that being resilient is a skill. It's a skill set that we can learn, and we can grow the resilient muscle as well as the muscle of hopefulness. And it strengthens over time, and it'll help you, and it'll help the people around you. And being hopeful and resilient allows you to do something marvelous at the end of the day. It as well allows you to meet life with excitement, with joy. There's no more issues in life. There are challenges. Everything is a challenge, and it's a challenge to overcome. Everything is a communication from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And in relationship, to be hopeful and to be resilient, incredibly important. So good for us. And as Bnei Yisrael, we want to be resilient. We want to be hopeful. And Be'ezras Hashem, we can come to realize that our whole Tanakh is a story about hope and resilience. Think about it, my friends. Think about how hopeful you can be. It's an attitude adjustment. It's learning, and it's saying to yourself, no, this can turn out right. Let me think about how I can change that which is going on. Resilience is the mental toughness in the moment to pick yourself up. And maybe just one avodah that we spoke about is an avodah that we've mentioned before. If you want to really live hopeful and you really want to live resilience, it's good to write down your fears. It's good to write down the things that irk you, that bother you. Write down your fears and just be with them and notice them and be aware of them and realize what's going to be if I play into these fears and what's going to be if I do not play into these fears. And be really conscious, speak about it, because your spouse is your life and your life is your spouse. And it's something so important. It's where we need to cultivate the greatest, healthiest intimacy. And Be'ezras Hashem, we can build ourselves, we can live healthy, hopeful, resilient lives.